connected with, because there are benefits being connected to the anointing, and there also is the downside being connected to the anointing. And you don't need to be connected to someone in this next dimension that's not connected to the anointing. Because even though there are going to be times you're going to experience the blessing of being hooked up with the anointing, there's also going to be times you're going to have to endure warfare by being connected with the anointing. If you have never experienced Eliam, then get connected with somebody who's connected with the anointing. If you ain't never been talked about, then get connected with somebody who God has anointed. Because through this story about Joshua and the people of Gibeon, you will see the ups and downs you got to deal with by being connected with somebody who has God's anointing. Now watch this. Because yes, everybody yes. There are going to be blessings when you connect yourself with God's anointing. There are going to be benefits when you connect yourself with His anointing. But there's also going to be warfare when you get connected to the anointing. Because when we look at verse 3, and I will take your fast, I'm just going to kind of slow down and take my time. Look at verse 3. Because in verse 3 we find out that King Adonijah had launched warfare against the people of Gibeon. Watch this. Everybody when he has war already. Watch this. Not because of something they did to him, but watch this. He just launched warfare because they chose to associate themselves with someone who got hooked up with God's anointing. Y'all can what I just said. They didn't have warfare at first. They only received warfare when they got hooked up with the anointing. But let me ask y'all a question. How many of you know that you have an anointing on your life? In other words, when I say you have an anointing on your life, that means you know that God has His hand on your life. You might not be operating in your anointing, but you know that there's anointing on your life. You know that God has His hand on you. Well, in this next dimension, before you become friends with anybody, make sure that you handle the anointing that God placed on your life. I'm not trying to get this back up, I'm trying to get y'all get this up. See, y'all trying to take people in this next dimension with you because y'all are close, and you don't get up in there first. Because they can't handle this anointing. So before you become friends with anybody in this next dimension, make sure that you handle the anointing that's on your life. Because when we get into verse 4 of our text, we see a covenant agreement. Everybody say a covenant agreement. Look at verse 1. Verse 1 says, now it came to pass when Adonijah, king of Jerusalem, heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. So when Gibeon made peace with Israel, this was their covenant agreement. So we see in verse 1 that Gibeon now entered into a covenant promise with Joshua and all of Israel. Gibeon, the people of Gibeon, they're now coming, watch this, a covenant agreement with Joshua and all of Israel. Everybody say covenant agreement. In other words, what happened is, Gibeon hooked up with Israel because the text says he made peace with them and were now among them. Gibeon is now with Israel. Everybody say that's a covenant agreement.
That's a covenant agreement.
Because that's not the reason I said this, because in this next dimension, it's going to make a big difference who you are in covenant agreement with. It's going to make a big difference. Now, one might ask, why would Gibeon want to associate themselves with Joshua after the text told us that Gibeon was a great city? Watch this. Here it is. The Bible says that Gibeon was a great city. But now we find Gibeon attaching themselves to Israel. verse 2 lets us know that Gibeon is considered to be a great city. Gibeon got word that God had given Joshua and the people of Israel favor. Y'all with me. Watch this. Here's a great nation, a great city that's known for their greatness, that's known for going into war and taking care of business. But they get word that Joshua and Israel that the favor of God on their lives is Gibeon said, I know we are a great city, but I want to get a taste of some of that favor. And so even though Gibeon was already known for being a great city, Joshua and Israel was known for having God's favor. So now let's understand this. So when you take a great city and you get it hooked up with God's favor, it makes you a force that the devil don't want to mess with. When you can take greatness and then put it up with God's natural, it's supernatural. It makes you become supernatural. And the devil don't want you to get hooked up with God's favor. And so Gibeon, this great city, wanted to hook up with Joshua and God's anointed. Because Gibeon the one, Joshua had God's favor. Everybody think Joshua had God's favor.
Joshua had God's favor.
Everybody think Joshua was anointed.
Joshua was not anointed.
Now watch this. So Gibeon the one, Joshua had God's favor. How many of you want God's favor? Okay, y'all can look around the river. Everybody that wants God's favor, just look around, put your hand up. Now, put your hand down. Let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all got God's favor? See, there's a difference in wanting it and having it. And if you want it, you need to check out who got your head up, and you need to find out how they got it. Y'all know what I just said. If I got God's favor and you want it, you need to come to negotiate with me to find out how I got your favor. So if you want it, you can get it, but you got to get hooked up with it. Watch this. Everybody has heard how God saved Joshua. Favor over the valley in Ai. Watch this. Everybody heard how God was with Joshua when he stood before the wall of Jericho and they shouted to the walls and tumbling down. See, when you don't have God's favor and you got to figure out how to make ends meet.